Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're all having a great weekend, whenever you're listening to this. I've got a review for the latest Hulu offering in Prey, which is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. He went ahead and directed the pilot of The Boys and Cloverfield Lane. He directed the Wyatt Russell episode of Black Mirror that so many people freaking love, which if you have not seen that episode, you should. But yeah, it has a pedigree. This movie stars a newcomer in Amber Midthunder, which is one of the coolest fucking names I've heard in my life. She plays Naru, who's our main character. So, alright, let's kind of get into this. So, I was never a huge Predator fan. I obviously enjoy the hell out of the first one. I think Predator 2 is pretty underrated. It's not a great film, but I think it's fun. And then all the other Predator movies are pretty bad, with the exception of Predators, the one with Adrien Brody, I want to say. That movie's actually really great. Adrien Brody and Lawrence Fishburne. Who else is in that? Danny Trejo, Walton Goggins. Topher Grace is really great in that. Yeah, that's a really great movie. I think people sleep on Predators quite a bit. The latest one, the Shane Black Predator, holy hell, that's the latest one we got, and that was back in 2018, I want to say. Yeah, the Predator. And that movie sucks. It's a fucking terrible movie. And I was actually done with Predator as a franchise after that. I went, cool, this sucks, I don't want any more. It fallen into that Terminator realm for me. But after watching this movie, goddamn, give me more Predator. This movie I think is absolutely excellent. And one of the big things that I'm seeing as far as a complaint about it, so I kind of want to just get this out of the way now. I think a lot of people are just going like, I wanted more developed characters. And what I would say is that Naru is by far the most developed character. And that's really, for me, all I needed, because everyone is there to enhance her story. This is a simplistic story that never feels simple for me, that never feels light for me. It's doing exactly what it's setting out to do. Naru is a woman who is a great, with mixing herbs and, cooking, doing those type of things at the for the tribe. But she wants to go ahead and be more than that. She wants to be a hunter. She wants to be able to protect her tribe. And everyone, including her own brother, Tabe, who's played by Dakota Beavers, again, a great fucking name. Even he's like, yeah, why do you want to be more than this? Like, why can't you, stay in your lane, basically. The more I was watching this, the more I really would love to ask Dan Trachtenberg if he's a fan of Horizon Zero Dawn, or if he's a fan of the latest Tomb Raider trilogy, because this screams Lara Croft. There's even a shot later in the film where Naru's in a tree, and she goes ahead and jumps and does this attack on someone that's so reminiscent of the latest trilogy of Tomb Raider games. The way that they developed Naru, I absolutely adore, because she is obviously undersized. You got these big buff dudes, and she's obviously smaller. But what she's able to do is, it's almost like Splinter Cell. She's able to go ahead and kind of think a couple steps ahead and use critical thinking and use her smaller frame to hide out, to go ahead and really be stealthy, but is really more than competent in hand-to-hand combat as well. And the more I was watching it, I went, wow, she's a genuinely, not experienced, but she's a very intense tracker. There's a point where the movie itself is very reminiscent of the first Cloverfield. And I mean that as a compliment, because you get these points where you see the Predator, going invisible. There's this amazing shot of a spider climbing on the Predator as it's cloaked, which I just absolutely freaking adore. And that's pretty early on in the film. The movie itself it gives you just little glimpses of the predator, just enough to keep your appetite wet. A little footprint here, dismembered snake here. And what I love about that too with the predator, because we see, it take on, a snake early on. Naru notices that the snake is turned inside out and is like, wait, what the fuck? And, everyone kind of just brushes it off. But you see the predator evolving and going up the food chain. First it's a snake, then it takes on a wolf, and oh my god, the scene with the predator and the wolf is fucking awesome. That's a scene I went back and rewound, because this wolf sees the predator, goes, stops just short of going, go fuck yourself. The predator goes, oh, really, go fuck myself. And it leads to a badass fucking fight between the two of them. Kind of what you maybe wanted to see in The Grey, if you want to use that as a point of reference. But love that scene. And then we get this incredible scene of Naru taking on a bear. This is straight up out of Tomb Raider, because there's a scene very similar, or cut scene, very early, not very early, but there's a scene reminiscent of that in the first Tomb Raider, where the bear breaks through this little hut of branches of twigs that you have. And oh my god, that shot in particular, I will say, and I think people, how do I want to put this? I think people just kind of complain about this, and we're just going to have to accept that this is going to be a reality in film. I don't know if you can ever make CGI animals look good. You know what I mean? Because obviously you can't have an actual bear get killed and dismembered and all that. I'm willing to kind of shrug and go, whatever, when it comes to CGI animals, as long as we're not actually hurting real ones. I know it's a bit of an issue for some people, because, we want to see it look more realistic, but I think this is just kind of the cost of doing business in terms of animals. So if that's an issue for you, you might have an issue with some of the animals here, but it worked for me. Speaking of the Predator, I gotta shout out Dane DeLigro here, who plays the Predator. So first off, I still remember the first time I heard that Predator click, which I won't even try to do, and going, oh wow, I don't like that at all. That genuinely stuck with me and freaked me out in a way that, as a kid, when I saw Predator, I think I would have been like 8. That really gave me nightmares. It's like, oh shit, okay. And anytime you hear the clicking, it still gives me goosebumps in the best way. The Predator here is not fucking around. I'm dancing around this film in particular, because I really do want to avoid spoilers as much as I can. There is a point. This movie has my favorite deaths in any Predator movie. Someone gets Dewey Coxed in this movie in a way that I went, holy fucking shit. Like, there are so many moments in this where my jaw just dropped because of how incredibly aggressive the Predator was being. And it's great because there are a couple moments where you see the Predator get wounded, which is nice to see, because you go, okay, the Predator can be hurt. This was set back in like the 1700s, early 1700s. And I know some people were concerned about how would the weaponry and everything work. The Predator has enough of its standard, classic weapons that you go, man, technology wise, the Predator is just so much more advanced. But ironically enough, that's what allows people to go ahead and get damage on the Predator. And they work that concept really well. Naru does a great job early on of developing this axe, and we get a cool montage of her throwing the axe, but she has it tied around a string, and so she's able to kind of make it repel back to her, similar to Daredevil's staff in the second season of Daredevil. And it's really cool the way she develops using it and, utilizing the axe to get out of certain situations and for combat. It works really well with her, and it's something that, as the film goes on, I went, wow. It also elevates her as a fighter as well, and shows how smart she is. I will definitely tell you, if you are squeamish when it comes to violence, this probably isn't the film for you, because there are beheadings in this movie. There are limbs being cut off. There's blood. This is a hard R. The film is better for it, because when someone gets fucked up or someone gets killed, it is a oh fuck sort of moment. In particular, Naru, when the first time she encounters the Predator, that's such a white knuckle. Like I was when I get nervous, I play with my hands, and I was like, oh my god, please stop this all right now. Her tribe being so arrogant too is a nice thread that they continue throughout the film, which leads to Naru's evolution as far as the inevitable showdown with the Predator, because she's doing everything but sending up fucking smoke signals to tell these fuckers that, hey, this Predator is out here, and this Predator, is out to kill all of us, and everyone just brushes her off because, you make herbs and shit. That's really sad, especially when she's getting it from her brother, but it's such a cool motivation for her to become a better fighter, to become a better tracker. She also has a dog named Sari. Sari is a very good dog. Sari is adorable, and I love Sari. Sari's great. I want to talk more about this, but I'm really afraid that I would spoil stuff. So I will simply go through and throw out a couple timestamps on shots that you need to pay attention to. There's a shot at the 65:20 mark. So the hour 5 minute and 20 second mark. That shot in particular, oh my god, it's so cool. The 77:13 mark. That's an amazing shot. And then, lastly, the E3:01 mark, that shot. And, okay, one more. The hour, 3 minute, 59 seconds. That shot, I want that shot framed. That shot in particular, I went, oh, that is breathtaking. And I don't know what the budget is on this. I was having a hard time finding it, but this feels like 60 mil, maybe? Like it's a good looking, great looking film. This film was made in Alberta, and so some of the wide shots you get of just the terrain and the plains, and there's a couple shots of the Predator looking out and seeing all of this all this wilderness and all this life. That it's beautifully shot, and everything costume wise especially looks very authentic. They really went ahead and took care and want to make this movie look authentic, which I horribly appreciate. I know it's been a big deal made of the fact that there are, actual subtitles in this, with the Comanche, influence in this movie. And I love that. It's actually, it reminded me of like something like Roma in that sense, where I go, oh man, I actually like the fact I'm getting to read it in the language as intended, to go ahead and add a level of authenticity to the movie, and it makes me more invested in the fact that they're willing to do this correctly. I really appreciate the fact that that was something that was fought for, and that's something that was given to the film. But as far as complaints, as I mentioned, I think some people will have an issue with the CGI animals, how those look, and some people might want the characters to be better developed. But really, as I mentioned, this is Naru's story. Everyone is here to elevate her. Which they should, because Amber Midthunder delivers a incredible performance. This is a star-making performance from her. Give me more of this franchise. Bring her back, please, if you can, because she kicks so much ass, and I can't wait to see what they do with the franchise moving forward. And I cannot believe I'm saying that about a Predator movie, because I really didn't think I would. I thought I would like this. I didn't think I'd love this movie. If I had to make my top 10 list right now, for 2022, based on what I've seen so far, just to be my top 10, I fucking adore this movie. So, final thoughts. I love the way the Predator hunts. I love the violence in this. There is a intensity to Amber Midthunder's performance that I think is truly inspired. And again, I keep making the Laura Croft comparison, but it's very apt. She feels like a new female hero, and I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for Dan Trachtenberg. I'm so happy for this cast who knew exactly what they needed to do and brought it. I'm so happy that the Predator is scary again. You remember how in Rogue One, how it felt like we hadn't seen Darth Vader be scary for a while, and then you get that hallway scene where he just goes through and rips through everyone? That's how the Predator felt for me. It was so cool to be afraid of the Predator again. And I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm hoping we get a sequel. Please watch this if you haven't, so we can get a sequel. This is a fan-fucking-tastic. I can't give it anything less than that. This is one of my favorite films of 2022 so far. I am so happy that this film exists, and I can't wait to watch it again. So It's on Hulu. Watch this shit. Prey fucking rules. But everyone, Prey, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Is it your favorite Predator movie? I will say I haven't seen the original Predator in a while, but based on what I remember, I really do enjoy it. I like this film more. I personally like Prey more, but love to get your thoughts on it. On that, let us know in the comments. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow us on Facebook, like both our pages, at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. That again is REEL Pineapple. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, Tune Up, and now on Samsung Podcasts at The Real Pineapple. Don't forget to follow yours truly on Letterboxd at Black Shazam, and don't forget to follow me on TikTok at Black Shazam 775. And you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JHunterRealPineapple. September, I am finally getting in the saddle. I'm going to finally do my first Twitch stream. I am nervous, but I am excited. So I will be giving y'all updates on that. Thank you again so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. We'll have reviews come up here this upcoming week for, what do we got coming up? League of Super Pets, which, since no one's seen it, it will be interesting to see if I like it, but we'll have a review for League of Super Pets. We'll have a review up for my thoughts on the whole Warner Brothers situation, because there's a lot to break down there. So I'll have a review up for that. We'll have a review up for Bullet Train, which I'm so excited to talk about that as well. And we'll have a review coming up here soon for Bodies, which I just saw the trailer for that yesterday, and I'm excited. I'm curious what that movie's going to be, but everyone, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. Stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Get your booster shot. Tell someone you love them today. We all need to hear that. But thank you so much for listening, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.